Hey, Robert Starr here. Hope you've had a fantastic week, and I just wanted to share with you a few thoughts that I've been having in putting together a presentation for a group of interns here in Melbourne in a few weeks' time. And it brought me back to thinking about my own internship, as I'm sure in your stages of your career, whether it was in pharmacy or otherwise, you go through a similar process of where you're bringing together all of the undergraduate study, and it hits like a Mack truck with the reality of actual practice with real patients, and the theory sometimes just falls out the back. And it started getting me thinking about my own internship and the cohort of pharmacy interns that surrounded me. And I have to say, I'm a little bit sad to know that the majority, and I don't have any hard statistics to completely back this up, but every time I catch up with a colleague or hear about what has been going on about a particular colleague since their pharmacy days, more often than not, they've been led by other roads to other professions and potentially other segments, corporate areas of pharmacy, but many have escaped the front line of community pharmacy, and it begins to make you question why. And when I start to try to reverse engineer that for this presentation to interns, which will be largely centered around technology, surprise, surprise, and what potentially I can bring to them as far as value from my experience. And I think one particular mindset, and it's very easy for us to look back on our careers and things that have influenced us, and exactly that, thinking about, well, is it influencing us, or did we influence it? And did we make a big enough effort to influence it? I believe so many times we've been brought into a practice environment and simply being told this is how we do it, this is how we've always done it, and this is how we want you to do it. And it's not about being disruptive or derogatory to the experience of an older pharmacist by suggesting alternatives. But when we look around the world right now at the transformation, pardon the pun, of business in general through the integration of technology, so many of those skills and the understanding of the inner workings of technology and social media is not a native skill to our pharmacy forefathers, and it is utmost importance that as younger pharmacists that we bring this to the practice every single day and find new and innovative ways to integrate it into everyday pharmacy practice if our profession is going to survive and not simply become a hole in the wall as it has done in many countries overseas. So I'd love to know, and you might even need to take a moment to think about this, in your experience going back to your pharmacy intern days, what lesson or what thought would you love to have told yourself, or even kicked yourself up the backside to remind you of something that you set out to do when you began the journey in pharmacy, as a lesson that you potentially would want to pass on to a younger pharmacist in the same position, and how you'd approach it? It's a very big thing. It's something that will take a little bit of time to think about. It's something, fortunately, I've had a little bit of time to think of myself. And it's really a case of, wanting to challenge and innovate as opposed to accept and regret things that you may have had the opportunity to influence, but you chose not to because you didn't want to rock the boat. So, Big. I know it's very heavy on a weekend, but something definitely worth thinking about, particularly if you are working with younger pharmacists, because going the full circle, seeing it through a different lens of a more experienced pharmacist now, it's something that we've got the opportunity to pass lessons on and influence the next generation of pharmacists. Have a great weekend, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Bye for now.